Tonight I want to talk to you about meaning and happiness. How are they different and what's the same about them? Oh, by the way, the outfit is, I'm just yanking your chain a little bit about it. But I'll sit down, I'll tell you about the outfit too. But we will speak about meaning and happiness. But I just got you going there. I'll join you just now when I sit down. Just hang on. So what's with the outfit, right? So yeah, the outfit is, hey, if you in South Africa is Pick and Pay shirt, white T-shirt. Your version in America maybe Walmart or Aldi in Germany. So and my judo pants, and it is comfortable. Um, and we will speak about meaning and happiness because I think it's very important to talk about. Um, and yes, I do Tai Chi a little bit, and I enjoy breathing, and it relaxes me. So I do that too. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that now. I just thought it was a fun way to introduce the video. So and I also do drink. I really do drink chamomile tea. So if it looks a little bit, it fits the theme, but I really do like chamomile tea. So there you go. I would drink it even if I don't talk about meaning and happiness because I just enjoy drinking it, and especially nice in the evening. So okay, back to meaning and happiness. But before we talk about that, I first have to tell you a story, right? So, because the story links in with the meaning happiness theme. And it's a real story and I think it's a story of everybody. It's sort of go to a school and you have school reunions. Now, this is now almost July. In 2 months' time, what's the day? Was it today, the 17th or 18th? But anyway, in August, I'll be 52, the 17th. So you can phone me on my birthday if you want to. But 17th of August, I'll be 52. So I've had at least 3 school reunions. Many, but okay, the ones that matter, sort of every 10 years, So why is this important? Well, if you have a first school reunion, and I think I remember, my school was very small. I think we were 34 in my last year, matric year, grade 12. So I think it was when we were 28. So that 10-year reunion. But you've all been there, if you at least you're a little bit older. So the 10-year reunion is important, but it's not that important, But so, I mean, you get to the 10-year reunion, and typically what happens, people sort of check, who studied what, and oh, he has this boyfriend or girlfriend, or and oh, they got together, and maybe the car that you arrive with is, important, but the pressure's not yet that much on. I mean, it would be cool if you studied something and you got sort of into a law firm, which so these things, whatever it is, he or she launched their career and they settled, and so they or they're doing their whatever, arts or. But then you get to the 20-year reunion. Now that is serious pressure, right? Now you're 38. Well, most of ours, we had a couple of guys in our class that really liked school, and they weren't 18 in their final year. Maybe they were 19 or 20. But I mean, they really enjoyed school, so they stayed a little bit longer. But okay, so most of us were 38. But then I remember, I don't think we had one when. Maybe they had one and they didn't invite me. But okay, I don't know. But if you had a 38, that when you were 38, 20 years now out of school, that's a big one. Because now, you should have made it, career-wise, kids, where do they go to school, and your career, did it launch, the car, how you dressed, and Now, listen, I'm not saying you like that, but I mean, maybe a little bit of it is could be true, but it's people don't just play this in the movies because it ain't real. There's some of this in our lives, so maybe it's not as dramatical as I said, but I mean, there's this, there's this pressure, 38, did you make it? And, are you in shape? That's a very big thing. Are you in shape? So maybe that's why they didn't invite me. I wasn't that in shape in 38. Well, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But now at 48, what happens? And we had one at 40 when I think we were 40, but okay, 30 years on, right? And we had one. It was fun. I loved it. And I was invited too. And but it's a magical thing because really nobody cares. Because at 48, you have made so many mistakes in your life, and people in your family have died, you got ill, some are divorced, some are getting divorced, businesses have failed, there's no pretense anymore, it's if there's still pretense at 48, you have issues, but and it's I really enjoyed the 48 because it's fun. People could just relax. Nobody was worried about how cool you were. It doesn't matter anymore. And I think, now, so why do I tell you this story about meaning and happiness? Because I think sometimes we think getting your life together would give you ultimate meaning. Having the great career. Sorry, I want to get some tea. It's not just for show. So, getting your life together, being in the right career, getting the promotion, being in the right relationship, and these things are important. But I don't know if they give you meaning. So. And that's why I said in the beginning, there's a big difference between happiness and meaning. Years ago there was a movie and was really good, and I watched the movie and I really liked it. It was called The Pursuit of Happiness. But the title, and I think the movie actually talked, I think, a lot about meaning. But I think sometimes people think if you stay in the right house, you got the right career, you are creative, whatever it is, that you will be ultimately fulfilled. And you could say around it, okay, well, that's very great. Here you sit and you stay in a nice house, and okay, I have a nice house. And you say, okay, well, you're happy because, you have enough stuff, Listen, I know people who are, 50, 20, whatever, 100 times more wealthy than me. I don't actually think I'm wealthy, but okay, it's in the eye of the beholder, For somebody that stays down the road 10, 20, 30 kilometers in a one-bedroom apartment, I'm obviously very wealthy. And I look at somebody else and they have a yacht and a plane and everything else, and I think, wow, they are wealthy, So, but the point is, I know people like that they're not very happy. They have 1, 2 cars, maybe they have a boat and a holiday house, but if you sit them down, they also, find my life has no meaning. I'm not happy. I don't understand what the meaning is. It's, maybe they have nice kids and they do well and they even could be in a good relationship. It's not like they're in a horrible relationship. And then you could get people who are poor, like it really is. It's living from hand to mouth, and it's tough. But I know know people like that that's happy and they have meaning too. So wealth and stuff can buy happiness, but it certainly can't buy meaning. That's not how it works. Now you say, okay, well, Reinhard, what is meaning? You know, um, I don't think I have the answer. You know, there was that movie. What was it called? Was Adams that wrote the book, right? Something about the galaxy. What was it? Yeah, but where the supercomputer had to find the meaning, and then the scene was, what was the meaning of life and what's it all about? And the answer was 42, and it was like, what? You know. But yeah, you know, it is, that's the central theme. I mean, for a lot of religion, philosophy, it is the question, what is the meaning of life? And what is the meaning of my life? And does my life have meaning? Now, there's a guy who wrote a book, and if you watch some of my other videos, I might have talked about him, Viktor Frankl. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. Well, the German title was a little bit different, but okay, Man's Search for Meaning. But in his book, he describes meaning in three ways, and he talks the difference between meaning and happiness. And so he says, it's not you not sitting in life and saying, hey, I'm waiting for life to give me meaning. You know, what's the meaning in life? I'm not fulfilled. And maybe I'm happy for a while, I have a great girlfriend, great wife, whatever, but then things go wrong, your business failed, and now your aunt is sad, and you know, and oh, life has no meaning. But actually that's just, hey, you had a financial tough time, you know. People die, oh, it's terrible. It is terrible, but it doesn't mean there's no meaning. It means you're sad. And I mean, people died in my lives, and then yours, I'm sure, but you can still have meaning and have suffering. So okay, let's get back to the meaning part. So Frankl spoke about meaning, and he says, you do not ask the question and say, hey, life, give me meaning. Life is actually asking you the question. What meaning are you and me giving towards life? So meaning comes to you when you give away. So he quantified it in three ways. So he says meaning can be found in creating something or task, so something to do. Not necessarily art. I mean, it can be your job. You know. I'll speak about how though too, but the second one is somebody to love, you know, and that is a child, a partner, a wife, a husband. Also towards if you in religion, a deity, God. So yes, so to love, and the last one is even in suffering, and this is coming from Viktor Frankl, was a prisoner of war in Auschwitz. So we're not talking about somebody who philosophically write about suffering. We talk about somebody who suffered. So he said the first one is easier, you know, getting yourself immersed in the job or the task you do. You know, and you could say, okay, well, Reinhard, you know, you talk to people, you're a holistic coach, and, you know, it must be really deep and meaningful. Yes, and it is for me. And then you go, oh yeah, some people, you know, always wanted to do art or music, and that must be meaningful. And maybe it would be for you, and it can be for the artist, but it could also not be, you know. So it's how you look at it. I know coaches and even therapists and doctors who don't find meaning in their work. Now, why? Because they look at their work as a job and not as something that they do or create for somebody. Now, you could be involved in IT. The fact that I have the privilege to shoot a video, it's made by, made possible by people who write algorithms and video software, whatever it is, cell phone, data, I'm going to stream this thing. You could work for a data company, a telecommunications company. The tea, the person in the shop that sells me the tea, the packs it, and you know how much I really enjoy tea. So for you work in the shop there, buy my tea, thank you. It really gives me joy, and from that I want you to see meaning. So meaning in a task is understanding that you're doing or creating something not for yourself but for somebody else. And sometimes we miss it a lot, because I think sometimes we're in a work situation where people look at how efficient are you, did you do your performance appraisal, were you on time, are you doing everything right? And I think sometimes we should pay a little bit more attention in thanking people, because if we thank people who do stuff for us, who work for us, if I go to the shop and I thank people, not complain about stuff, but thank you for being nice to me, then people will, it's much easier to understand that your job matters if people are thankful for it. It's so important. I think then it's easier to derive meaning in what we do. So, okay, that's the one thing, to understand what you do creates joy or pleasure or comfort for somebody else. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be an artist doing it. You can actually work in a mobile telephone shop. The fact that you sold this phone to me gives me great joy, so thank you very much. I really mean that. The second one is somebody to love. It's not if you really sincerely love somebody. I'm not just talking about a romantic relationship. I also talk about a friendship. I have a wife, and I really love my wife. I really love my kids, but also I really love my friends. And if I give in the relationship, I find joy and meaning. When I sit back and I go, oh, what they didn't give to me, then it becomes quite difficult. Then it's like, what did I not get? But if you give, it's much easier to find meaning. And now, and that goes for friends, family. And the last part that Frankl talked about is suffering, finding meaning in suffering. And you say, okay, well, Reinhard, explain this. And he said, listen, in Auschwitz, there were people, your chance of actually getting out of the concentration camp in Auschwitz in the Second World War of a Jew was like point, and I think in the book he wrote, it's like less than 1%, obviously, so most people died. But if you give up hope, if there's the smallest chance to hold on to that, and he sat down with fellow inmates and people in the concentration camp, and he started asking them, because they actually considered committing suicide in the concentration camp, and he said, okay, well, hang on, what do you still have to do? And the one person said, oh, I need to visit my family in America because they escaped Germany and went to America, and I need to be there for them. And he helped them to think about, why should they hang on and even endure suffering? Endure suffering with dignity, have meaning. It doesn't necessarily make the suffering go away, but to endure the suffering there in itself can be meaning. So again, but it's your attitude towards something and give it from you outwards. So remember, it's not us asking, hey, life, give me meaning, give relationship. I don't have a meaningful relationship because I feel people don't give to. It's the wrong way around. It's what you give. And so this is the beauty of this. So where does happiness come in? So happiness comes in from understanding that giving towards a task or to people or even enduring suffering for the right cause, that creates in itself happiness. The satisfaction to give away from a sincere heart gives joy and happiness. And that, I'm not just talking about possessions, I'm talking giving from yourself away in a relationship, in a job, devoting your job. So how do you go to your job? You go to your job as, yes, I get a salary and it's a terrible job and I sell whatever, cell phones or, vegetables. And hey, I love these things you sell to me, so I want to thank you. So think of that. And sometimes you have a tough boss, and maybe you should show him the video or her the video. But yeah, understand that if we focus ourselves outwards, then all those things in the matric thing, remember when I said you're 48, they don't matter, because we understand that the core thing in life is to find meaning. Because people who really find meaning even under difficult sand, they are truly happy. Happiness comes towards them, as Frankl would put it. It is found. It is the gift package. It is the reward of the pursuit of meaning. And so I really want to encourage you to think about it, to read more about it, read Frankl's books if you want to. Contact me. But yeah, to really strive for that, because I think we owe it to ourselves to find meaning, to live meaningful lives, and then have happiness. Thank you so much, and now I can have my tea. Thanks for watching.